let's start with the story. So now everybody's asking, like, what is the new normal? Like, what is normal these days? Like, are we gonna go back to normal? Like, what's happening? So there's a story of this family who they were a Jewish family, and one time they couldn't pay their rent anymore, and they live in the 1800s, and the poret, the person who like took care of the rent, said to them, the manager, if you don't pay the rent, we're gonna kick you out. So eventually, 1 month, 2 months, they couldn't pay the rent, and the story goes that this manager throws them into the dungeon. So this Jewish family goes into the dungeon, and they have to live in there. So it's completely dark. They're in a dungeon, and every twice a day, the manager opens the roof and sends food down for them. And this goes on and on and on. And this is how they live. They live there for years and years. They have kids, and they tell their kids, we used to go up there, we lived up there, and then the manager put us down there, and now every day, we get food there. And the kids are like, oh, they still relate to the idea that there was a outside world,
a different world. Yeah.
But as it goes on, the next generation and the next generation, they're comfortable in the cave. This is their reality. All they know is like they're getting food from heaven. This thing every twice a day opens up, and they're getting food from heaven. So they're used to, this is their new reality. This is all they know. They're getting the food. This is the cave. They're getting used to the darkness. And somebody tells them, no, it wasn't always like this. We used to live on the outside world. There were trees and there was a sun. And it's like, what? Like, you're telling me fantasies. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, no, it's real. We used to live out there, and the people cannot relate, and they cannot comprehend, and they are trapped in their cave. Now I ask you, Yvette and Pnina, like, what do you think is the lesson in this little parable? Like, what does it mean in our lives?
Well, I guess you
get used to this.
You get used to things. You get used to a certain new normal, let's say. That's their normal. That's what they know. That's what they're used to.
But on the other hand, I say we cannot get used to it.
I know, both sides, like a good Jew, we have this side and we have this side.
But also, if we keep it with the memory, we keep with our mind, we can keep that there is a different reality, and that that we can one day maybe, that there is a different thing out there that we can strive to get to.
Beautiful. Yes. 100. Pnina, you wanted to say something?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, same, exactly. So couple of things, exactly what you said. One is that perception is literally our reality. It says wherever your thoughts are, that's where you are 100%. You could be in a party, but if your thoughts are in a different place, you're not there. You weren't at the party. It happens to us. We were there and we're like, well, who was there? Because we weren't there. We were preoccupied with something else, right? Mm-hmm. So one is to really know that wherever our thoughts are, that's 100% where we are. So to really take that and connect when we're, when I'm with this kid, to try as best as we can, right, with humans, to really connect, every moment. The days are busy, to really be where we are. And the other perception is a reality. If I believe something, this is my reality. The kid believed that there's no outside world and this is the only world, and that's going to be his reality. But if somebody who once experienced something outside can be like, oh no, like, there's a different possibility. Something else. So, and it also connects to Mashiach, because we're in this world and it's like, what are you talking about, Mashiach? It becomes such a infantile thing, like, oh my goodness, Mashiach. It sounds kind of like a fantasy land, but we're like, no, Hashem created this world. This is very real to us. This computer, this table, this reality is very real, because we were brought down into this world. Our neshama came into this body and in this world, and this is our reality. But we have to remember that there is really this concept, this messianic concept, that Hashem will take us to that time, and it will happen. And the more we learn about it, the more it becomes real and not so kiddish, like, oh, well, it's going to be candies on the trees. Like a kid, you teach it according to their level. So yeah, there are candies on the tree, and it's also true. But as an adult, the more I read about it, the more I can connect. Okay, it's gonna be a person.
Hey, you did it!
Hi,
Lina. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll close back on. Okay, 1 second.
There you go.
I'm on my phone.
Hi.
Let me leave here.
Okay, stay on your phone. It's fine.
There we
Stay
go.
on your phone. That's fine.
Yeah.
Good. We get to see you.
So I was talking, Plina, that the more we, somebody's here. Okay. Doo-doo.
Oh, Adele.
Adele. Hello. Hi, Adele.
Hi, I'm gonna take my video off because I'm in bed. Do you guys mind? Thank you. Sorry I'm late.
No worries. So we're talking, I was just telling them, we were just talking about a little story, and we're saying how our perception is really our reality. If we're, like we were saying, just very, very quick recap, if we're born in a cave and we don't know that there's an outside world, that becomes a reality, right? And somebody, like somebody tells us there's a world outside of the cave, we're like, no, there's no way, that's fantasy. So we were comparing it to us being in this reality, the table, the computer, everything is real, but really remembering that, oh, maybe, just maybe there's a different reality. You know, there's a different possibility. And I was saying, the more we learn about Mashiach, the more we learn the laws about it, the more it becomes real. And it's not just a kiddish thing about the candies growing on the trees. We can really learn the alachot, what's going to happen, how is it going to be the process. Mashiach is going to come and he's going to bring us. It's not all just, there are many, many stages. So I encourage you, ladies, if you're interested, the more you learn about Mashiach, the more you start seeing things differently. And it gives us more power to also know, not just to escape reality. We don't want to escape. This is what's happening right now. You know, Hashem brought it upon us and it's going to be okay. But just to know that there is a plan, like absolutely there is a plan. So I wanted to touch now in last week's parasha. We'll do this week's parasha quickly, but last week's parasha, because we didn't have a session, was so wonderful. Because last week, especially for women, because it speaks about the daughters of Tzlafchad. So Tzlafchad was a man, and he had 5 daughters. And it came to the time that the Tzlafchad was about, he passed away. And, you know, when a person would pass away, the land would go to the sons. Like, you know, they were in the different pieces of land.
It's a paternal.
Yes, exactly. So the daughter of Tzlafchad did not have any sons, only daughters. So the land was going to go to the brother. So the daughters of Tzlafchad, the 5 of them, went to Moshe Rabbeinu, and they said to Moshe Rabbeinu, in a very kind manner, in a very truthful, matter-of-fact manner, they spoke from their heart, and they said, Moshe, we are the daughters. We also want a part in Eretz Israel. We also want a piece of the land. And Moshe literally did not know what to answer them. He said, kind of like, oh, let me consult with Hashem. So that's what he did. He went and he asked Hashem, what do I do? So Hashem said to him, they're right, and they should inherit the land. And it's fascinating that because of them, there's a new halacha in the Torah. One of the 630 mitzvot, he literally changed that now the daughters could inherit the land. So there's a couple lessons that I want to go over with you about the daughters of Tzlafchad, the way that they approach Moshe Rabbeinu. So number 1, if you want change, speak from your heart. Speak the truth. If you really want to affect change, come from your heart. I mean, I see so many things, God forbid, you know, like so much hate, so much pain on Facebook, so many people bashing each other. Why? Just speak your truth and that's it. You don't need to put someone down. Come from your place. This is what I believe. You know, share your heart. And this is what they did. They went to Moshe Rabbeinu and they said from their heart, we want a piece of the land. We also want to inherit that piece of land itself. We want to be a part of it. So that's one lesson. The other lesson is to be compassionate. Moshe Rabbeinu, he listened to them. He didn't say, what are you talking about your women? How could you even ask? Moshe Rabbeinu listened. He listened. And just by listening to another person, the daughters of Tzlafchad relaxed. They felt understood. And they felt, oh, okay, he's listening to us. And then Moshe, when he didn't know, he was humble enough to say, I don't know. And he went and he asked Hashem what to do. How beautiful. Moshe Rabbeinu tzaddik, he doesn't feel threatened. I don't know. I'm going to ask Hashem. How many times we feel threatened? Why? We're just humans. You know, if we don't know something, there's always someone that can know more. Lesson number 2 from the daughters of Tzlafchad. They didn't, at the same time that they spoke from their heart, they didn't stay quiet. They could have just, whatever, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want people to think that I want more. I'm a woman. How could people maybe will think that I'm selfish, that I want a piece of land? Because blah, 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 blah. They knew this was right. So they went for it. They didn't stay quiet, and they were able to affect generations and generations, because not only them, they got land for generations, and every single man who had daughters and didn't have a son, now the daughters will inherit the land. So same with us, we have a voice. Thank God, more and more in the world we're seeing, right, in the last 50, 60, 70 years, the power of the woman. We have a voice, and we should share it. We should share that with the world. If we're coming from a place of truth and we're coming from a kind place, we don't have to be afraid. And we have to share and just shy away from affecting change. We really do have the power. Lesson number 3, right timing. It says in the Midrash, timing is everything. It says in the Mishle, right? There's a time to speak, time to be quiet. There's a time for everything. I'm not going to go talk to my kids when they're like starving. They just got from camp and I have to like speak to them about something serious. It's not the time. Let them eat, let them relax, let them do their computer time. And then, okay, we really need to speak and figure it out something about next year. Now is the time. Like, what a different conversation if I would have grabbed them at 4 o'clock because I want to talk to you now. I want to figure this out. Or right timing. Let me talk to you at 7 o'clock when you ate and you're ready and you play. Timing. It's all about timing. So the daughters of Tzlafchad knew when to come to Moshe, when to speak. And they were also very accurate. They didn't embellish the story. They didn't add things. They were very matter of fact. You know how sometimes people try to convince you of something and they come with this and this and this, and they try to embellish their story. If it's true and it's coming from your heart, you don't need to embellish it. We learned that from Adam and Chava. What happened with Adam and Chava? Hashem said to Adam, don't eat from the tree of knowledge, right? Don't eat it. What did Adam say to Chava? Don't even touch the tree. He thought he was doing good by giving an extra fence. He's like, don't even touch it. But Hashem didn't say that. Hashem said, just don't eat it. So what happened? The Midrash says that the snake pushed Chava. Chava touched the tree, and she said nothing. And she said, oh my gosh, I touched the tree and nothing happened. So it must be a lie. So then because she touched the tree and nothing happened, she had the power. She said, okay, nothing happened. I might as well just grab the apple or the fruit, whatever it was. So don't add, just speak the truth. It's very important. Just like we don't want to diminish from the Torah, we don't add from the Torah. We don't want to add things that are not. Even also when we're educating our kids, tell them what it is. Tell them the halacha. You don't need to like for fear, like, oh no, you should do this, you should do. Tell them the halacha, and that's what a person can receive. Number 4, very important lesson, be open for an answer, right? How many times we come and we're like, da-da-da-da-da. They could have come to Moshe, and this is my right, and I want the land. Be open for an answer. They came to Moshe with a question, not with a demand. This is what I believe. Can we inherit the land? In this case, the answer was yes, but be open for the answer to be no. Like, let's have bitul. Bitul is the opposite of arrogance. To realize that we don't know everything. Let's be open again. And Facebook, right? All these people, read about someone. Oh, maybe this person is right. Just take it into your heart. Like, be open, right? Be flexible in your thinking. And number 5, sorry, they really went out of their comfort zone, because these were learned women. They were women that were very tsanua, they were very modest and proper, and they needed to go out of their comfort zone, really, to go and speak to Moshe, the leader of the generation. It wasn't just like every day that you go and like, hey, Moshe. It was like kind of like coming to the king. They needed to, get out of their limitations and go up to gather the strength. So from the daughters of Tzlafchad, we learned, if we want to affect change, number 1, speak the truth, speak from your heart. Number 2, have bitul, be ready for an answer. Number 3, be ready to be out of your comfort zone. And number 4, also, I love this, the Rebbe always said, if you know Aleph, teach Aleph. it doesn't matter, you know, a little, whatever you know, you can teach to another person. It's not think, oh, who am I? Like, I don't know anything. In any area, there's always something that we can give, and there's always something that we can receive from another person. So never hesitate to say your piece, and every neshama has a special part of the oral Torah. Like, this is the part that only the daughters of Tzlafchat could reveal, this part of the Torah. So we have it in ourselves. So when we have something, let's share it. And especially now, the Arizal, who lived in the 1500s, who wrote the books of Kabbalah, he said that this generation, our generations, are the reincarnation. Only tzaddikim can know these things. We are the reincarnations of the neshamot of the women that left Mitzrayim. The women right now are neshamot. We are the same. We're the reincarnation of those women. And the Rebbe of Lubavitch said many times that just like the women were instrumental in the Yetziat Mitzrayim and living Mitzrayim, because the women always had that extra level of faith, extra level of emunah. They were dancing with their tambourines even before the miracles happened. They knew the water was going to split. They knew we were going to be saved. We as women have the same power right now to really hone in the good. And when it's like, oh my gosh, the numbers are going up. Yes, let's take reality. Let's wear a mask. Let's do social distancing. For sure, you know, let's stick to the fact. At the same time, let's not fall into despair. We have Hashem. Hashem is running the world. So we can literally perspective. Are we going to focus on the cave, or are we going to focus on the outside? And as women, we have that extra power to really lift ourselves, our husbands, our family, by really focusing on what's coming next, for focusing on the positive aspect of it. And also, this is a time of, you know, the 50, 60 years ago, the women's movement happened. It's not coincidental. Everything that happens is connected to Torah. It says that this is a time when Mashiach comes, the feminine aspect of Hashem, so to speak. Hashem has a masculine aspect and a feminine aspect. The feminine aspect of Hashem is called the Shekhinah. It's going to be more and more revealed. So that's why all of the women are coming out, and, you know, all the women's movement are coming out, because women really have the power to affect transformation, and more as Mashiach comes. And now that's last week's parasha, the daughters of Tzlafchat, which I thought was amazing. And how could I not share in connection to the women? And now I want to share, let me see if I can do this. Nathan showed me how to screen share. Let's see if it works. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, let's see. Share screen. And now I'm going to share this.
Okay. Oh, you did it.
I think I did it. You know, Nathan has a Mac, and I'm not used to having a Mac, but it's better for this. So it's just different, a little different touch, you know, the double click, the sliding. Okay. So this is something amazing. It's 10 Hasidic, 10 teachings that change your life. And let's start. I want to read it with you, and let's see how we go. So number 1 here. Okay, number 1 right here. Who wants to read number 1? Can you see it? Live with fearless love.
Live with fearless love.
Do you want to read it, Pnina? The Baal Shem Tov?
I can read it. Who's?
Sure.
Okay. The Baal Shem Tov was orphaned as a 5-year-old child. His father, on his deathbed, turned to him and said, Yitzrolik, fear nothing but God alone. Love every single Jew without exception, with the full depth of your heart and with the fire of your soul, no matter who he is or how he behaves. The Baal Shem once quoted the verse, you are children of God, and explained that when one loves the Father, one loves his children. So much so, said the Baal Shem Tov, that a soul may descend to the world and live for 70 or 80 years, just in order to do your fellow Jew a material favor, and certainly a spiritual one. Rabbi Shlomo of Karlin was wont to say, I wish that I could love the righteous as much as the blessed Holy One loves the sinner. Indeed, one time after a father complained to the Baal Shem Tov that his son had forsaken God, Rabbi, what shall I do? He asked. Love him more than ever.
Okay. I thank you, Adele. I love this. Number one, live with fearless love. What does that mean? The Baal Shem Tov was a tzaddik in the 1700s, and he came with, I mean, the concept was always in the Torah, about Israel, obviously, Rabbi Akiva, but there were many different groups at that time, and the learned Jews and the very poor Jews, and there was a lot of discrimination within the Jewish community. And there was a false Mashiach at that time called Shafta Tzvi as well, that brought a lot of despair for the community, a lot of pain. The Baal Shem Tov came and taught, love every single Jew, no matter what. Avat Israel is number one, especially in these times. Especially, we're in the middle of the 3 weeks between the 17th of Tammuz and the 9th of Av, which is a time of more dinim, more, a little more gevurot, like a time of more severity. And we have to completely eliminate judgment in this time. Only love, only compassion with our children, only compassion with other people that in Facebook. That's the only thing that can bring more and more of the revelation of Hashem. So the Baal Shem Tov said that, our soul can come down into this world, even for just we live 100 years, 120 years, at Mea Be'ezrim, just to do one favor for another Jew. How beautiful is that? To really think, as how as a mom, I get so, like, when your kids are being, even if they're being naughty, but they're being like, they're doing something, but they're doing it together, you're kind of like, okay, you feel like, if they're doing something they're not supposed to watch, on the computer, but they're all together and they got cookies and they're all in the couch and they're all getting along and they watch a movie together on the computer, I'm going to be happy, right? As a mom. Hashem is the same thing. When he sees that his children, we might not be behaving the best, like in our personal level, maybe we're sinning, but he sees that we're together and we're loving each other. It's like a father. He's like, oh, my children, I love my children. So he forgives us. So we really need to remember that and take it to heart to have Avat Israel. And I love the last line. Somebody complained to the Baal Shem Tov, my son is away. He's away from Torah. He has forsaken God. And the Baal Shem Tov, he was a God-fearing Jew. What he said? Love him even more. It's about the relationship. It's about being connected to each other. The next lesson, I'm just going to say it. Number 2, it's all about you. It says, Bishvil ata nibra olam. The whole world was created just for you. On one hand, we have to believe the whole world was created just for me. And the other hand, we have to remember that even a little worm was created before us, right? Because the animals were created before Adam and Chava. So on one pocket, we have to say, I'm super important. Look, one person, the daughters of Telophah could affect such change. One person in this world, look at this, one person in China eating the bat or whatever, it could affect such pandemic for the negative. How much more so on the positive side, right? What we can affect with doing one more mitzvah or by inspiring one more person, we can literally change the whole world. So not to underestimate our powers. And on the other hand, it's not all about you. It's not about you at all. And the other hand, we have to remember, okay, I have the power to affect, and the whole world is created for me. On the other hand, I have to remember when I'm getting a little bit arrogant, it's not about you at all. It's about your mission and your one more part in this big world that even the little worm was created before you. Number 4, embrace the power of joy. It's literally, it says, and in all the books that we're reading, right? Positive psychology, think good and it will be good. And that positivity and joy breaks all the barriers. I was just read like 2 books, like what is it called? By Tal Ben Shahar, The Secret of Happiness, or 2 books on happiness. It's all connected to Torah and Hasidut. The more we're happy and joyous, we really are able to break through any limitations and think good and it will be good. It's not just like a little childish line. It literally means by thinking good, you're creating the good. By thinking positive. You know, many times we see this, right? God forbid if somebody's sick, we're thinking good. We're really, because we're creating that reality. So we got to remember that. Sing good and it will be good. And we can, joy breaks all of the boundaries. Number 5, Pnimi, connected to Pnina, right? Connected to the Pnimi, the internal. We have to focus on the inside, and we have a lot of time right now to really like be in depth. There's a little story connected to this. There was once, it was Yom Kippur, and a lot of the whole community came together and they were praying, and this little kid comes and he wants to pray so badly, and he doesn't know how to say the alphabet, and he opens a siddur. And he's a poor farmer boy. He doesn't know. He's trying so hard. He's trying to copy. He's like imitating. He's chuckling back and forth. And he wants to connect to Hashem so badly that he starts, all of a sudden he says, "Cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo," in the middle of Yom Kippur. Everybody looks at him like, chutzpah. What are you crowing like a rooster in the middle of shul? That's like so disrespectful. And the Baal Shem Tov said, the Baal Shem Tov, the same tzaddik in the 1700s, said to everybody to be quiet, and that because of the prayer of this pure neshama, most of the prayers of the other people were able to be elevated. What does that mean? That means pray to Hashem with what you have. He didn't know Aleph, he didn't know Bet. He wanted to give something to Hashem, so everything he knew was okay. He could crow like a rooster. So that's what he did. So it means to really tap into like, how are we, besides reading the prayers, how are we connecting on an individual basis to Hashem? Number 6, the power of words. Again, and this is connected to what we said about think good and it will be good. Our words really create our reality. The way that we speak, it's so important. It's so crucial. That's why I say it again and again. This is a time to really stay away from Lashon Hara. Really hold back. If there's a comment or you want to say something, this is the time to hold back. Like hold back. Hold back. Nothing's going to happen. Just hold yourself back, and you're able to bring more godliness in that way. Again, this is a time leading to Tisha B'Av. It's a time, you know, we want to rebuild. We want to focus on not on the destruction, but on the rebuilding. Let's hold our tongues and really speak only good, only good. There's always something we can focus good on a person. Even if a person's annoying us, there's always something that we can focus. And if the only redeemable quality of that person is that they have a neshama, okay, let's focus on that. You know, if everything else is like, I can't believe they did this and they did that and they did that. They are a children of God. I don't understand. I will never be in the shoes. They have a neshama just like I do, and the neshama is untainted. No matter what, the neshama can never be touched. Self-restraint is self-expression. It means the same thing, but I like this line. What is forbidden, and what is permitted is unnecessary. What does that mean? Okay, something is forbidden. You don't do it for sure, right? But if something is permitted, like, okay, like I can eat cake or whatever, that's allowed. It's not necessary to have a whole cake, right? So this is just a simple level of self-restraint, of being like in touch with okay, what do I need? You know, like the more, it's always a battle between the physical and the spiritual. So if we restrain a little bit of our physical needs, we can give more room for Hashem to come into us. The next one, this is awesome. Amaseh u'aikar. The main thing at the end is the action. Yes, we need kavanot, good intentions, good heart, but this is the world of action. This is the world that the only way that we can bring more godliness is by doing, by affecting. We use our bodies. So this is the only way that we can do that, is by doing more mitzvot, by actually lighting the candles, by actually learning Torah, by helping another Jew, by going to buy groceries for someone. We're literally transforming their experience and the world. Number 9 is connected with, again, every person has a divine soul inside of them, and that's something that we have to remember. 100% every single time, and it changes the way that we perceive everyone. And whoever does not see God in every place does not see God in any place. Wow, powerful, right? No, Hashem is, oh, God is here, or he's not really here now, or he's not listening right now. Whoever does not see a Kadosh Baruch Hu in every place, on every little thing, does not see Hashem in any place. Like, we gotta thank Hashem. We gotta be in conversation with Hashem. Like, thank you, Hashem, for giving me this parking spot. You know, from the most mundane things to the big things. We know when you have a relationship with someone, you speak about the little things and the big things. Same with Hashem. We don't only need to come to Hashem when we're desperate or a major revelation, or I'm super inspired. Like, day-to-day conversations. Oh, Hashem, you know, I need this, or I'm feeling disconnected from you. Can you help me? We could really need to like open our heart and speak to Hashem. And the last one is Hashgacha Pratit, which is connected to the last one. Every single thing in this world is orchestrated by Hashem. I said this last week, that not even one leaf from a tree sways back and forth without Hashem willing it to be so. Hashem did not create the world and left it. Hashem is constantly recreating this world. Every little thing that happens, every circumstance, it's happening for us, and Hashem is 100% behind it. Now, I'm going to say it just because it says in here. I like how he says it. Now, don't just sit there and read another article. Go and implement these teachings with your family, with your friends, and even those outside your sphere of influence. As the Baal Shem Tov taught, when will Mashiach come? When these teachings burst forth to the outside. It is, and that is the author. It is my hope, So, main thing, we learn Torah to get inspired and to take action, right? The Torah should allow us to become better people. You know, Aleph, you know one thing, share it with somebody. I don't know, maybe something that you heard tonight that you can share tomorrow at your Shabbat table. And then that makes it, you know, this is how it spreads. This is how the word spreads from one person to the next. And the last thing, just because I wanted to speak very quickly about the parsha of this week. The parsha of this week is Matot Masei. Let me see if I can stop the screen share. Wow, I feel like a pro.
Oh,
Okay.
a pro.
Oh, there's two more people here. Oh no, Evelyn and Pnina. Let's see. Hi, Evelyn.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I got it. I think I got it here on the other one. Hold on.
Plina, you're everywhere. I have you twice.
Yeah, because
It's on her cell and on her computer.
I love it. Okay, Evelyn, can you hear us?
Yes, I have been hearing you. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So happy. Wonderful. Okay, so the last one we're talking about this week's parasha, which is Matot Masei, is a double parasha. And it's also, this Shabbat is Shabbat Chazak, because we're finishing the fourth book of the Torah, Bamidbar, and we're going into the book of Dvarim. So this parasha, Masei, speaks about the 42 journeys that the Jews made from when they left Mitzrayim until they got into Eretz Israel, into Canaan. They were in the desert for 40 years, and they took 42 journeys. Each journey could be that one of them, of one encampment, they stay there for like a whole year. And another encampment, it could be that they stay overnight on one spot. And the next day Hashem told them it's time to move. But there are 42 journeys from Mitzrayim to Israel. So we know that the Torah, besides the literal level, also has a lesson for us. So what are these 42 journeys? These are the journeys that every single person takes in their life. It says Mitzrayim has the same root as Metzarim. Metzarim means limitations. It means constraints. So everybody has limitations. And when we go from one level to the next level, it's like, okay, now we're a little more free. And now we get out of our comfort zone and we're ready to take the next journey. Now that we're in this journey, we're a little further from Mitzrayim, right? We're on our journey to Eretz Israel, which is called the land of expansion, the land of our Ratzon. So every step of the way, we have to, like, you know, a Jew can never be, two things. One, we can never be content with ourselves and be like, okay, I have arrived. There's always more room to grow. At the same time, we can never despair and be like, okay, this is who I am. This is the level that I've reached, or this is what's up in my life. the Torah is teaching us not at all. No despair, no contentment. Just keep on going from one level to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. We keep on journeying. And how do we do that? How do we have the koach to do that? Again, by staying close to the Torah, staying with our mindset, our positive mindset. And the more we read, the more we're feeding our minds with the Holy Torah and teaching our kids. So let me see. Yeah, so the last thing is, again, that in this 3 weeks, we have to remember that the whole idea of the Beit HaMikdash being destroyed, it's only in order to be rebuilt. You know, Yvette, you know this. Sometimes you break the bathroom in order to make a better bathroom, right? You put it down in order to make it even nicer. You know, you tear down a building in order to make a 5-story building. So the fact that the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed is not a reason for despair. It's not fun. Like, it's not fun when you're doing construction, right? And the workers are there and it's messy and it's like, you want it to be done already. So that's where we are right now in the construction period. But we know that the third Beit HaMikdash is coming down, and we should be zoche to see it with our own eyes. It should be revealed. And chazak to all of us, ladies. And I'm so glad that everybody joined. If anyone has something to share, something that they wanna, or a question, go ahead. You can unmute yourselves. And we're all good?
All good.
Awesome. Thank you for joining, Pnina, Adele, Evelyn.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you
Pleasure.
very much.
Pleasure, my pleasure. And
Thank you.
let's stay
great.
positive and let's keep learning.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Toda. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom u'mevorach.
Toda. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye.
ladies.
Bye, guys. Bye, Yvette. Bye.
Yeah.